Lucky Harrison here from Raise Your Resilience. And if you read the title, it's based on an image, and I don't know if I can call that image up. But the image says it takes courage to heal, and it does. It's like starting any journey. It does take courage. It also takes, and the trick of with it sometimes is when we begin to heal, we yes, it does take courage to go away from all of the stuff doesn't work for us. But two things, we've identified with it and we're familiar with it. So I'll give you an example of what that's like. Um, Years and years and years ago, I was a hippie. And of course, when Bob Marley hit the scene, smoking a lot of dope with that was the thing. And so we were sitting around one day and listening to Bob Marley, and the joint was passing around, and I passed without taking a hit off of it. And every head in the room turned and looked at me and said, "Are you all right?" And I said, "Yeah, I am. I'm just not interested." And essentially, what had happened is I had moved and I had become a believer. And when I walked away from that, I got this. Actually, I didn't get the same treatment. What I got was absolutely nothing. So, anyway, it was moving away from everything I was familiar with, and that's not easy. Here's the thing about healing trauma: as we take those first couple of steps, that movement, actually, the physical movement, begins to help that courage be there. And I think it's somewhat like William James said back in the early 1900s, as I recall, talking about the fight flight reflex. And I don't know if it was before Hans Selye. I think it was before Hans Selye um, developed what was actually became to know and call stress. But anyway, William James said, so if you flee from a threat, are you afraid first and then you run? His assessment was no, we run first. That's an autonomic thing. Boom, starts to happen. Then the fear. And okay, I'll grant you that might be true. The difference between those two might be measured in milliseconds, or maybe a little less than that, but it's so movement. Now, what could movement look like when it comes to healing your trauma? That could be as simple as picking up your phone and making the call. That could be as simple as clicking on the keyboard and saying, yes, I want to talk about this program, setting up a consult. Then get up and move. Move around, literally. Walk away, walk towards. Just do what it takes to move a little bit. But what's happening is a movement. Your hands go forward. When you're reading something, now it's a commitment button, and that's usually enter. Remember, you always have the choice to say no. Some people talk to me about my program and they say, "Do you take insurance?" And I say, "No." And so they say, "Okay, I can't do that then." I said, "That's okay. I get it." I paid for my healing out of my pocket because I knew it wasn't covered by insurance, but I knew it was effective, far better than anything traditional. But I took some choices, I took some steps towards this healing, and that gave me the courage to keep going in the face of losing everything that was familiar. But part of the advantage, okay, if I'm walking away from those things that don't work for me, okay, that's not a bad thing. I'm walking into what seems like, though, a dark cave because I don't have any knowledge of what will work for me. I didn't at the time. I was skeptical going into my own healing. Once I started to tremor and realize what was actually going on in my entire being as I tremored, changed everything. So, yes, it does take courage. Just remember this, anytime you take moves forward towards your healing, and that might be getting a guide, you might need a new therapist, whatever the case is, as you move, take some action. Say yes to a consult or just ask for a consult. I do them for free just because why would I charge people for that? Kudos for taking those steps towards your own healing. So I know it doesn't feel like courage when you're doing it. Just move. Say yes. Make a phone call. Hit the enter button. Forward because it's easier to find the right direction if you're moving. A body in motion will stay in motion. A body not in motion stays not in motion, and nothing changes. Anyway, I just wanted to encourage you, if you need to, take a little bit of action, a step, which is a step forward, and the courage will be there. You always have the choice to say no to any offer, but take that step, move forward. And hey, if something doesn't work out in one, you might ask. Okay, sometimes I call somebody and say, hey, do you do this? No. Do you know anybody who does? Well, funny. So those are some options. I wish you well, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.